Hello, everybody. This is Jess. It's the LunaLight Intuitive Tarot channel. This is a reading for Earth signs, Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus. And it's a reading called Them versus You. It's this is for a relationship that is no more, or is in a period of no contact. It could really be any sort of relationship, but generally, I read it as a romantic one. It's just I pick up more of that energy. I think a lot of people are always questioning what kind of love is going to come into their life, because that's the thing we want, right? So, anyway, so usually it comes as a romantic one, but you can apply it any way you see fit, however it fits your situation. But if it doesn't fit your situation, don't try to make it. It can't resonate with everybody, and it just might not be a reading. You could check videos out for your rising moon or Venus sign. Cross watchers are welcome. All references to feminine and masculine refer to energy and not gender. Each side is interchangeable. And lastly, I read the cards intuitively, and at times I might interpret a card in a less traditional way, just depending on the cards around it and just the feeling. So I'll read them intuitively. But if you prefer a more traditional reading, this isn't your cup of tea, that's totally okay. I'm not offended at all. I encourage you to find one of many really talented and insightful readers with a more traditional style. There's lots of them on YouTube, lots of great readers. Also, cuss words come out sometimes. I try not to cuss a lot, but I cuss. So if that will offend you, this probably is not the video or channel for you. But I hope this is the channel for you, and I hope that it resonates and gives you the advice or the help or the comfort or the peace that you need, or motivation to move forward, whatever. I hope it has a positive outcome no matter what the cards say. But if it does resonate, please let me know below in the comments. And if you enjoy this video, please hit like or subscribe. It's a baby channel, and I'm trying to grow my audience. All right, so we will go ahead and get started. This side is the other person, and this side is you. And that's how I read it. But of course, if it feels better for you to switch the energies around, you can do that. No problem. All right. So the first cards that we have for them are the Chariot, the Three of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. So, the Chariot's a card of the Cancer, maybe a Cancer sign, maybe it's a Cancer. This is a conqueror, triumph, but possibly, with a price. Sometimes a conqueror has a moment of greatness, but it comes with the risk of more adverse consequences, or the risk of a gigantic ego, a big ass head. So when you're adored, you can quickly lose perspective and get a little cocky, and sometimes people will celebrate with a person when they give them what they want, but then will turn around and despise them, the same person, as soon as they fail. And they inevitably will, because they're human. So I think maybe this person is got some ego things going on, maybe. I'm not sure yet. But if they can remain humble and honest, they can move forward to some kind of victory. All of these cards here on the top. Sorry, I just dropped them back here. I'm trying to get them in order. These are all water sign cards, Cancer. cups and cups. So this could be a water sign, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. But if not, they kind of embody the energy of the water signs. They're emotional, intuitive, and nurturing. And if that, even if that isn't their true nature, that may be how they present it. Um, this could also show a person that's ready just to go to war, seeking vengeance. I don't, I haven't looked at the cards long enough to really know yet. So let's move through and see. Three of Cups. They're celebrating, but I kind of have a feeling that three's a crowd, right? So, I mean, it might be a third party situation. Or maybe your person's just quite sociable. But cups are more introverted and introspected. Usually the water signs are. So that doesn't seem likely. But, I mean, their head's kind of big here on the Chariot, so maybe. Maybe they were playing. Maybe they had another interest or source of affection. It's kind of what I'm getting here. And then the Seven of Cups. So your person has too many choices. They're indulging. Maybe there's alcohol abuse sometimes when there's lots of cups like this, especially the Seven of Cups. This is alcoholism or alcohol abuse. So that's it for a few of you, not everyone. Are they do they live in dreamland? They fantasize, but they don't really live in anywhere near reality. They're not realistic. It may be that their perception of what's going on is just vastly different than yours and probably a lot of other people's. I mean, with the perspective that they have, most of us aren't riding in with two sphinxes pulling our chariot. So, just your person. This person's not really feeling that good for me. It's just really arrogant player energy. And, I mean, none of these cups are going to anybody else. It just feels like, yeah, maybe some ego player energy. So maybe that sounds like your person. I kind of hope not, but that's what it kind of looks like in the cards. And I mean, this is a reading for a relationship that's not together, and there's got to be some kind of conflict there for that to occur. And it had to be significant for you to be listening to the reading, I think. At least it is for me when I'm searching YouTube and listening to readers. You are over here. You are the Two of Swords, the Fool, and the Seven of Wands. I mean, are you feeling defensive? Two of Swords represents our self-made walls between ourselves and others, and when we intentionally refuse to feel difficult emotions, and she's blind and the swords are crossing her. She's not really allowing herself to see the truth, and in her effort to protect herself, she's blocking out beneficial relationships and interactions from coming in as well. Well, you may have known there was something going on with this person for a while, but intuitively. But you knew something was off. You weren't being treated right. You were being taken advantage of, or lied to. Maybe there was some gaslighting and projection here. It seems kind of mentally confusing. And with a person with the ego like that, that might be the case. And you see a lot of cards here that it's on your person's side that might point to something like that. And gosh, that's a really confusing relationship always to be in when someone's projecting on you all the time. It kind of makes you feel like you don't know if you're the one that's insane, right? But instead of facing whatever difficult feelings came with that acceptance, and God, I know it hurts and nobody wants to feel kind of pain. It hurts real damn bad. That you stayed until it was forced upon you, you know? The truth is forced upon you. You can't ignore it anymore, you know? And, you know, when you're riding the fence, you get chafed. I mean, lots of splinters, dude. Um, you you can't selectively numb. It doesn't work. If you numb anger, you numb elation, and if you numb depression, you numb joy. If you numb grief, you numb gratitude for all you have. And whether this is drug related or just an apathetic mindset, numbing may put this off, but fate's going to continue to place you in sync with this lesson until you can learn to let go. So maybe it's time to do that now. And this looks like this isn't kind of an intense relationship here. It is. And there's significant things happening in both your lives. So maybe there were things that were so significant going on that you just couldn't take another blow or any more stress. And so you didn't allow yourself to believe or think or feel what you knew was going on because it was just too much at the time. And that's okay. We do that to protect ourselves. There's a reason. But it looks like that kind of stuff's kind of died down and now you're having to do the work of it. And I can tell that you're doing the work because you're about to start on a new journey there, with the Fool card coming next. You must, because you know the next card is a Fool and it speaks to your new journey. You can't embark on a new journey until you close out the other one, right? You can't be on two different roads at the same time. Fool runs happily into the unknown. He's careless, yeah, but it's kind of wonderful to be that careless and fearless, childlike, curious. But maybe he's also a little bit vulnerable, right? On the other hand, you could just be literally feeling like a fool for being caught up in such a toxic dynamic for as long as you did, and that's okay. That's part of the process. Um, And then the last card for you there is the Seven of Wands. And again, I feel like you're on the defense here, but you're holding your own. I think for a bit it seemed like it was just shit show after shit show, right? But almost like you've been under attack. But you haven't relented and you've taken the high road and you have a really strong will. You're resilient. It's been challenging, but you're beginning to realize, and if you haven't yet, you will, that it had to be this challenging to force you to move where you needed to move. Earth does not move easily. It takes a natural disaster, right? And then the continents break apart and the plates, rub together and, you know, tsunamis come. That's what it takes to move Earth. Or at least a bulldozer, right? So, Um, I saw this meme the other day, and it was a picture of the Archangel Michael, and he was looking very annoyed. Um, it's like an old Renaissance painting, and he's looking very annoyed, and he's kind of dragging this resistant human, and it said something like, "Can't when my higher self gets sick and tired of me ignoring obvious signs and synchronicities, and has to drag my ass up the mountain," or something like that. Anyway, that's you. It was you. I think maybe you've just submitted and you're kind of letting go of it. I think you might be at the top of the mountain now and you're fighting to stay there with the Seven of Wands. You're taking charge of your life. You're kind of determined to not go down that same path again. No, this is a little bit intense. I do like intense though. It's significant. So over here, this is a mess, and I've been kind of trying to think ahead about this because this is three major arcana. It's what's going on with death, the lovers, and the dower. Oh my, man, they're having a hell of a time. There's no shame in basking in it. Just bask in it for a minute because you're better than that, but they deserve it. Feel it and let it pass. Don't stay. Take what you need to heal. Retribution and justice can really help you feel like the universe is more balanced. I know when someone's really hurt me, I just want them to feel how they made me feel, because I'm just sure if they could feel how I feel, they'd never hurt anybody ever again. But it just doesn't happen. They're gonna have to, but they're gonna have to learn the same lessons you did, or that you eventually will. Everybody does. That's life. All major arcana again, which means it's fated. They can't avoid it. They can't avoid it. And that's what we're talking about with you over here. Like, something had to happen that had to move the earth. And now this is here them. This is what's going on with them. This relationship did that for them too. It's just taking them a lot longer because they're drunk. They're drunk. They've been numbing for a long time, right? So, I mean, they can postpone it, but they can't outrun it forever. And really, do you pity them at all? That's up to you. I don't know this person, but this is a bad present circumstance. This is a hard part of a really transformational time for them, because death is truly transformation. It's the ending of a current cycle and beginning a new one. A new life. And, I mean, your person might have to be dragged along just like you did. Your person might come about this transformation at the end of a road of unexpected or sudden traumatic events. I don't know. It looks like there was a lot of trauma, drama, toxicity here. So, but whatever it is, it's significant enough to elicit a real self-evaluation and change. And usually that involves intense emotions or circumstances, and that's just the nature of life. In the Tower, that's an ending. It's unexpected. It's painful even, but it's got to happen. Jung calls it the Tower of Destruction and the Stroke of Liberation, right? Because it's falling down, but there's this lightning bolt, this stroke of liberation, and they're falling out of the tower, which is like scary. But imagine being stuck in that tower and not really seeing the real picture, being isolated, elevated above everybody else, elevated above earth, but they're not high enough up to be in the divine. They're in this weird ego place, right? And so when the tower moment happens, it frees us from our ego, but that comes with a lot of grief, shame, and pain, right? It really does. And this person avoids that like the plague, like that's death to them. But I mean, death is coming. And the lovers, lots of times me and other readers will want to instinctively attribute this card to true love, and that makes sense if it's a romantic relationship, a love reading where it's monogamous, but because it can be a really positive card in a love reading, but really that's not what the card is communicating all the time, and that's not what I'm feeling here. I'm feeling this is kind of a crossroads in your person's life. A decision has to be made thoughtfully, and the lovers are a decision. It's a card about choices and questioning values. If you're living in alignment with the values you seek in others, right? There's temptation in this card. It's saying that physical desires have kind of been the only thing in focus, and off. They've taken the focus off of the needs and purpose of the self and the divine, right? They're so busy trying to prove that they're lovable that they're not lovable because they're not loving. Well, someone's choosing between the divine and the passion and instant gratification found in earthly pleasures. And both figures here are nude. They're vulnerable. And I don't think your person likes that much either. But this is amazing for your person. You know, this is their chance to be a decent human being. Just for a little bit, guys. And then you're over here. 7 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, and 3 of Pentacles. I'm sorry, yeah, 3 of Pentacles. So you've been investing in yourself and you're reaping rewards. Your patience, has turned into growth, and you're cultivating, it's all a part of who you are this time. It's almost harvest time, right? You've learned the hard way, but you're making the changes you need to have a more abundant future. I think this has finally broken you out of this cycle that maybe you've been in for a while. In the 4 of Wands, you're finally experiencing some stability and balances that has not been the case for a while with this person. Like I said, trauma and drama and just a mess. And now you're alone, right? And you're doing the things you want to do, and you're not stressing about that anymore, and you're not taking on this anger and rage and all these feelings that they weren't feeling, again, because they're drunk. Right? Yeah, I mean, look, there's garlands hung and everybody's happy in this card. So maybe you get a promotion or a new job. You're celebrating a wedding or a baby shower or a birthday of a close friend or a family member. But you're definitely coming into a period of dependable relationships of all kinds, supportive relationships. You're gonna, move into relationships that are reciprocal, that give what you give. Your cup won't empty out, right? But with the 3 of Pentacles, that also just makes me think you're kind of embarking on a new endeavor, maybe a new learning or educational, endeavor. Maybe you recently moved into like a new career field or a new field of study. Maybe you've taken on like a spiritual mentor, counselor that's helping you along, or whatever you're embarking on is going to benefit you, and you're dedicated to seeing it through. So just keep going. You're doing great. What are they doing? I don't know if they're learning their lesson because they're not. This future is not really. Yeah, they're not the butterfly yet. But maybe they have a lot of things that they've got to hold themselves accountable for, right? Because like the 5 of Swords, like these people here behind this back, they just like dropped their swords and walked away, right? The sword represents truth and communication, and maybe people are just tired of trying to compromise and fight with this person. They're just like, fuck it. Take this truth and do whatever you want. I'm gonna go swim. I'm gonna take my shoes off and get in the ocean. And you just stay up here with your version of the truth. So this is a conflicted time for your person. Is that they didn't learn their lesson here. They're just going through the same cycle again. There's a couple swords here, but maybe your person's not that intelligent. I'm just kidding. They're probably very intelligent. They're just not emotionally intelligent. But this person's not growing. And we're not getting any younger here, right? A 7 of Swords is a cheater, a liar, a betrayer. I don't know if this is them or somebody's going to do this to them, and I really feel like this is people doing you know, it might be people doing it to them, and it may just be this person's just not learning. And maybe they won't. It's not your problem anymore. Because, look at the Seven of Swords, and I'm just grabbing what he can and leaving that circus there behind, right? I feel like just, I don't feel like he's escaping anything, you know? I feel like it's a more traditional meaning. He's a betrayer. This person's sneaky, and, you know, relapse is part of recovery. But I don't know if they ever got into recovery with the cards that are here. And the Two of Pentacles, that's the Juggler. And this makes sense given the rest of the spread, because they're still between the old self and the new, and it's a hard place to be. It's kind of hard to walk away from who we thought we were, especially with an ego as big as this person. This person's juggling two options for success, right? Here in the, you know, the Ouroboros, right? The snake eating its tail is the infinity symbol, right? They can continue to eat their own ass. Oh my god, that's terrible. Sorry. They can just keep going in circles till the end of time, or they can straighten out and move forward. I mean, like, the snake just needs to let go of its tail, and then it moves forward. Its tail follows its head. But he's not moving with his head. Just going in circles. Man, this person is not going to learn. Fucking bye, Felicia. Get rid of them. Because what you're going to be doing, you're the King of Cups. That's compassion, romance, devotion, generosity. He's fantastic and loyal partner, father, counselor. You know, it could be you. Even though earth signs are not usually so fluid, earth signs and water signs are really compatible. They balance each other a lot. You know, earth signs are wise and tolerant and diplomatic. And this king is too. He's just balanced. Like, look at his throne. He's floating perfectly on these rough waters. He's like mastered it. He's not even worried about it. He's just hanging out, holding his cup, holding his staff, his little fish back there. He's just in the ocean on his throne, perfectly level. You know, and for some of you, I feel like this king might represent you seeking a counselor of some sort, a traditional therapist, or some kind of counsel with like-minded people. Maybe a support group, codependent support group. I'm not saying you're codependent, but maybe you have some tendencies. So he's a mentor. He's a guide for those that need, assistance coping with some extreme emotion, addiction. It also helps cultivate spiritual and intuitive gifts. Like, either way, this is a really positive card. And I'm just so proud of y'all. you know it is when you go through a long period of hard times where you're just getting pummeled, and then when you come out of it, you're just kind of waiting for it to come back, especially if things are going as good as they are going. You are just waiting for it to fall apart. Don't do that. Right? Because you're guarded and you're vigilant, you're defensive. You're not fighting, though. You're just on the lookout and you're ready to defend yourself. It also could be that you've learned to stand up for yourself and defend your position. Honor your feelings, your thoughts, and your opinions, because I don't think they've been honored for a long time by your partner. This just might have been off balance in the relationship you had with this person here. And then you have the High Priestess, and I love this because you are desired, You're sensual, you're mysterious, spiritual. You're eagerly seeking knowledge and searching the subconscious. The High Priestess wants you to see within and into other realms. She's wants us to trust our instinct and our intuition. And she's here with the moon. You're an attractive person. You're desirable. You're attracting people. You're probably still attractive to this person, but it doesn't matter because you're going to have lots of options with, with people that you attract that are in the same vibration as you finally. So the High Priestess talks about the unknown and divine secrets. So either you have psychic ability or maybe it's just urging you to explore your abilities and listen to your higher self. I start believing what that little voice inside you is saying, what your gut is telling you. Because you've always been right.